Well, hello there, my friends. I've been reading some articles today about school, mediocrity, success. What do high achievers do? What are their habits? And it made me think about my own kids and their school experience, as well as a lot of the students that I work with in my consulting practice and their resistance to homework, to school, and all that stuff. So let's be painfully truthful about what the issue is here. And some of this may not be news to you. And no offense to my fellow teachers out there. I love you dearly. The stuff you are required to do these days is beyond overwhelming. But the fact of the matter is, our school system, well, let me back up a little bit and give you a little history here. Our modern day school system was the brainchild of Henry Ford and other industrialists who wanted people to have a basic understanding of the workplace so that they'd show up on time, obey their supervisors, do their work, not complain, and then go home. They wanted mini-bots. They wanted people that were going to conform and do what they were told. And the whole straight line thing, sit in rows, don't talk to your neighbor. That's all the production mentality when you stood side by side on a factory floor where stuff was coming by you on conveyor belts. That's what the modern school system is still doing. It's preparing people for that very menial labor, minimum wage mindset, okay? So, what's the problem? The problem is our kids are hip to this. They realize that the school system as it is now is stuck in the dark ages. And when I say the dark ages, you see the leaps and bounds that society has taken, especially in terms of technology. There's not a whole lot of use for the content they're learning in school. When I see the stuff my kids bring home, it's this mindless worksheets, that require them to just, flip through the pages and fill in the blanks. They don't have to think about it. They don't have to do any problem solving. They don't have to expand their mind in any way. My oldest son got A's in his sleep because he's a very curious mind. He's always researching. He's always Googling things. So his ability to be mentally resourceful really helped him in school because it didn't take a whole lot of brain power to solve those problems. Now, of course, he's in college and he's finding the same thing doesn't apply. He's finally having to stretch his brain. But the majority of the stuff that's being spoon-fed our kids in the classroom these days can be found on Google. It's not something they have to memorize. It's not something they have to learn. It's not particularly useful for competing in the ever-evolving, innovative marketplace. Okay, with that being said, what's the good part of school? The good part of school is that the habits that you need to learn in order to satisfy the school requirements are still relevant. When you have to complete a research paper, maybe you can do a lot of it on Google and you don't have to go to the library necessarily, but you still have to ask good, intelligent questions. Then you need to go on research and find the answers, a variety of them from different thinkers, so you have a very comprehensive understanding of something. And then you have to organize those thoughts in a logical fashion. You need to be able to articulate your thinking in either writing, audio, video, whatever the class requires. You have to be able to manage your time so that the things that you need to accomplish get their due attention. You have to be able to show up on time, whether you're at a job, whether you're meeting a friend for lunch, whether you're an entrepreneur meeting with a client. Time matters. People are going to expect you to call them on time, be at a meeting on time. And those are things that school requires of you. So hope you're getting the picture here, that school nowadays is not really about mastering the content that they're giving you that, like I said, a lot of it can be found on Google or YouTube for that matter. But the habits that are being required of you in order to manipulate that content, to turn it in. Testing I'm not a big fan of because memorizing facts doesn't do anything in terms of proving can you use it. You know, if there is certain concepts or something that a child needs to understand, have them present it to the class, have them demonstrate it. You know, just being able to spit back a theory here and there doesn't mean you can use it in intelligent life. Something that requires a child to demonstrate the usability of that knowledge, that's learning. There are some teachers that are doing that, but not enough. So when you think of what it takes to get through a school day, you need punctuality. You need to have a structured schedule. Not that there's a whole lot of opportunity for that in school because somebody else made the schedule for you most of the time. So you can be pretty mindless as you go through your day. But when your child gets home, they can structure after school. What's the first thing you're going to do when you get home? What are you going to do after that? Not that every single minute needs to be structured, but your child needs to have some experience of planning their life so that they get a sense of what their priorities are, as well as what they want to learn, how they manage their time, because too many kids come home and then the only thing they're fighting is boredom. They're trying to pass the time. They're trying to kill time instead of doing anything constructive with it. So plan on doing something like that with your kids when they get home. How are you going to live your life? On the weekend, same thing. How are you going to plan your time? What are you going to prioritize? Maybe some homework is in there. And again, the homework, maybe you think, hey, I already know this. I did it in class. I don't need this anymore. Great. Then use it as an opportunity to practice time management, to practice structuring your activity. Let it be for that, because those habits are going to follow you for the rest of your life. Now, I could talk for hours on this, of course, but I just wanted to put my 2 cents out on this because I think it's important that we be honest with our kids. You know, we don't try and pretend that everything in the classroom is oh so important. They need to learn it. They know better. Our kids aren't dumb. They know a lot of this stuff is not going to generalize to everyday life. But what we know that we can make it about instead is the habits, the strategies. Let's make it about that, because we can be sincere in knowing that those habits matter. And by articulating that to our kids, we're now working on something else. Okay, it's not about memorizing all 50 states and state capitals anymore. It's about organizing your time. It's about being able to complete tasks in a certain timeline. It's about organizing your activities. That's what we're going to work on. So I hope this was helpful. If there's anybody else that you think can benefit from this, share away. This has been Brian. We'll talk again soon.